Welcome back to another tutorial. I am Cole doing Cole, and today our focus is going to be on database, that is database management system. You will see where we will talking about what is a database, what are the two main categories of database, where are we right now as it relates to using database management system. We'll also be looking at what are the various areas that make up a computerized database. But before we do so, let's just dive in by just having a general understanding of what really a database all about. Where is this whole essence of database coming from? First up, here we have a picture, and at the top we have manual and computerized database. But what you're seeing on the picture really is actually a manual database, something that most of us might have been used to, whether you're at school and you might see in various areas such as labs and office, you might come across this type of manual database. Same thing we call what? Our filing cabinet. However, nowadays, computerized databases are in widespread use. They help people to do what? Quickly find information when they want them. So you will find that a computerized database help the users to find information faster than using a manual database. And for large database now plays an important role in our society. You will find nowadays that in society now, persons are using larger database, so they will move to using a computerized database. That is the reason why you're finding like for industrial and commercial and public organization, they would use database to maintain their businesses and services. So let's look at some examples of how we use these large database that we speak about. You might find computerized database, which are very large. They can be used for large database in like booking holidays and airline tickets. So you know that you have several hundred thousands of persons booking their holiday trip, booking booking tickets or buying tickets for their flight and so on. You will see where these large computerized database are necessary. Using online store for searching for a range of millions of products. Even when you go on even on Amazon and you're searching for a product you would want to buy, all those information is stored in a computerized database. And also bear in mind that our police force or police officers, they would have database that store large amount of information on various criminal suspects, stolen items. So whenever they need all of these information, they would move to that computerized database to put in that request to basically get that information from it. So that in essence give you an idea of why we now move more to a computerized database rather than a manual database. But what is the computerized database really? What is it really? What is it really about? Let's get some more knowledge on what it's really about. No, database management system, same, DBMS, is a term for any program that handles the storage, modification, and retrieval of data as well as controlling who has access to the information. Very important. Storing information is good, modifying the information is good, retrieving whenever you want it is good, but the factor of controlling it is even more vital because sometimes you have sensitive information that you need to allow only some person to have access to. Now, what are some of the programs that basically help us to store, modify, retrieve, and control who access these data? Database programs such as your Microsoft Access, which is a part of the Microsoft Office application suite. And we have Lotus Approach, and we have File Maker Pro, and there are several others that basically allows you to carry out various database management control. Let's now really examine what make up this database really. What are the various parts that come together to give us this amazing application that basically store, modify, retrieve, and control data? What really make it up? Note, the main purpose of a database is to store data. It stores this data in a number of related files, more commonly called a table. Now, the database that stores all these data, that allows you to do all these amazing things. They store data in a number of related files, and these files are referred to as your table. So if you hear me mention table, I will mention files. They're basically the same thing. Let's look at a pictorial representation of a database and what are the various parts, what are the various components of a database. At top, we have a database called Bookshop, and we have tables such as customer, product, order. That is simply saying there are three tables, three files in this database called Bookshop. Now, let's look more in depth in what make up these tables. Below, you're seeing records, and you are seeing several records in this order table. One of the record is 1138, which is a CID, and we have P3745, which is the product ID, and we have 100, which is the quantity. Now, all of these below and above, they are all records. So we can say in this table, it consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 records. All right. Now that we have a better understanding of what a record, and that record make up tables. Now, the smallest piece of data that can be stored in a database is really a field. And from the indication here, you're seeing that one element of these records are called a field. So therefore, this same record here that is highlighted consists of one, two, three fields. But let's give you a more clear idea of what these components really are. Now, a table consists of a collection of records, like you just see above. A row consists of a number of fields, like I just identified to you. Now, a field is the smallest piece of data that can be stored. Now, there you should have a better understanding of what is a database, and that database consists of tables, and that records make up tables, and that fields make up records. So they are all interconnected. So you will not find a database without a field, you will not find a database without a record, and you will not find a database without tables. All right. Now we are going to move to look at how do we really go about creating a computerized database, and we'll be using the Microsoft Access application to do so. Creating a database, one will first, well, based on the version of Windows that you're using, because sometimes Windows might set up a little bit different. But here I'll click on the start button, and I am going to look for Microsoft Office. And the reason why I'm saying to look for Microsoft Office, because not all the time you will find um, Microsoft Access or Microsoft Word based on what you're looking for. Here, I am looking for Microsoft Access, and you're seeing that I am not seeing a Microsoft Access. So I look for Microsoft Office, and here I'm using Microsoft Office 2013, and I click, and here are all the applications of Microsoft Office. That's why Microsoft Office is known as an integrated software as well. However, I am looking for Microsoft Access, and here you're seeing Access 2013. So I'm going to click on my Access 2013, and here you go. Now, here is my access window, and it gives me a variety of options based on the type of database that I am choosing or I wish to create. However, I am going to start from a blank database. So I click on blank desktop database right here, and it brings me to this section where it allows me to give my database a name and decide which location I would like to create my database. Now, note carefully, creating a database would be similar to when you open Microsoft Word document and you go to File and Save As. However, as it relates to Access and creating a database, we actually give it a name and decide a location from this initial stage. So therefore, let's say I'm going to call um, my database, I'm going to call my database University. Since we're dealing with school, let's call it University. Now, if you look at this section below, it's saying document as a last path location. If I should go ahead and click on create at this moment, I will be creating my database called university inside of document. However, let's say I want to put it on the desktop, or for some person's purpose, they want to put it on their flash drive. So you will click on this nice folder icon right here, which allows you to browse for a location where you want to put your database. So I'm clicking on it. Now you see a familiar window appear that basically gives you option over here as to where exactly would you want to put your database. So I'm going to put mine on the desktop. So you realize mine is going to be on desktop, and the name is still university seen right there. I'm going to click on OK. Now, if you observe carefully now, you see where document was, it now changed to desktop. After which I will click on create. And there you go. You see where I've now created a database called university, and university is created on the desktop. Now, those are the steps you would follow in creating a database. And please remember, you need to be clear on the location where you're creating your database. Now, bear in mind, database comes along with various terms and their definition. Now, I'm going to share with you some terms and definition that is synonymous, that is related to a database. So you need to look at these terms keenly, have an understanding of these terms, because you will be using or come interacting with these terms as it relates to database. All right. So you have like your object, your database, your table, your query, your form, and your report. Now, remember, to develop mastery, you need to practice. For more information and tutorials, please remember to give a like, follow, and share with a friend. Until then, keep safe.